और
Okay.
लास्ट में आपने एक रेफरेंस वाला ऑब्जेक्ट भी बनाया था, डेमो रेफ करके, जिससे हम लोग
Correct. Correct. So ultimately, in that concept, we were trying to copy the value of object instead of values, right? So do you have any doubts?
यस सर.
Anyone? Let me know if you have any doubts regarding copy constructor. Today only I will discuss that thing again with parameterized as I told yesterday. But so yeah, if you don't have any doubt, let me share my screen. So let us discuss copy constructor with parameterized constructor, right? So again, I am creating one class. Let's say copy parameterized. Let me create main method inside the class. And let me create one more class, for example, class demo. Inside this class, let me go with two instance variables, integer a comma b. Let me define few constructors. Let's say one constructor is having two parameters. And let me create one more that we will define later on, don't worry. So now, as you know, to call this constructor, I need to create an object, and while creating object, I will have to pass two parameters. I mean, I will have to pass two values. So let me create the object of class demo. Let's say demo b equal to new demo, and here let's say I'm giving two values, 10, 20. So my question is, whenever I will create the object, both the values 10 and 20 will go to this parameter. So it will be stored in variable a and b. So here the variables which I have defined as a parameter for this constructor. Can anyone tell me these variables are known as what? हम इस variable को कौन सा variable बोल सकते हैं?
Local.
Correct. These are the local variables. And what about the variables which I have defined inside this class as a body?
Global.
हाँ.
Yeah, you can say global, but more specifically, you can say it is a class variable. These are the class variables. If I want to access the value of these variables, I need to create object of this class, or I can say I need to create instance of this class, and that is why it is known as class variables, right? So both are different. These are locals and these are class variables. The value of this local variable will be limited to this demo constructor only, while the variables which you have defined inside the class can be accessible throughout the entire class. This is what the uh, little difference between local and class variables. So whenever I will create the object, it will go to this constructor, both the values will be assigned here. And now if I want to assign both the values to class variables, see, this is local variables. So the copy of this variable will be accessible within the constructor only. I want to assign that value to class variable also. So what should I write here to assign both the values in class variables? Anyone?
सर, डेमो करके कोई सा भी रेफरेंस के लिए.
No, as of now, I just want to assign the value. As soon as I will create the object, it will call this constructor. Both the values will be stored in these local variables. Now from local variables, I want to assign the values to class variables. This is what I'm asking.
तो सर
Hello,
a
sir.
equal to
Can I do like this?
Sir,
ob
some of
dot a
the
करना.
No, sir.
sir, some of them are waiting in lobby.
Is it so? Just a minute. Okay,
हाँ
yeah,
सर,
I have.
अभिषेक का मैसेज आया मुझे.
Yeah, I have admitted. Yeah, so let's say if both the variables are different, then it is fine. Yesterday only we were discussing this, if you remember. In that case, I can easily do this. I can assign the value of variables a and b to m and n, because both the variables are different, so there is no problem. Are you getting this?
सर वापस से बताना तो.
See here what I have done. I have just created one object, one constructor having two parameters, and while creating object, I am passing two values. What does it mean? Whenever I will create an object, it will call the appropriate constructor. So it will call this constructor, and it will pass both the values 10 and 20 to these local variables and b. And here I have defined two more variables which are defined inside the class, and that is why it is known as class variables. Because to access these variables, I need to create an object of this class. So what I have done, I have assigned the value of local variables to class variables simply by using two statements, m is equal to a and n is equal to b. So are you getting this? By doing this, can I say
Yes,
that
sir.
the value of variable m and n would be 10 and 20? Are you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct. Because we are just assigning the values. But what if both the variables are same? Now in this case, you can see local variables and class variables both are same. So I cannot do like this, a equal to a. It will not work. If I will do like this, then also it will update the local variable only, which is 10 and 20. So in this case, whenever you find local variables and class variable, if both are same, in that case, to differentiate both the variables, you can use this keyword, which we were discussing yesterday also. So if I write this dot a, it means I am trying to refer the class variable. If I write this dot b, it means I am trying to refer the class variable which is b. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, यहाँ पे जो लोकल वेरिएबल a है उसकी वैल्यू है 10. It will be stored in class variable a. Earlier in this class variable, you can see value is not there. I have just declared the variables. I have not assigned any value. But now I have assigned this value, which is of local variable, which was 10. Now this 10 is assigned to class variable a. So I can say a is equal to 10. Similarly, value of b is assigned to class variable b. So b is equal to 20. This is what we can do. So using the object of demo, I should be able to access the value. तो अभी मैं क्या करूंगा, अभी मैं वन मोर कंस्ट्रक्टर, वन मोर ऑब्जेक्ट बनाऊंगा यहाँ पे. लेट्स से ob1 equal to new demo, and the way we were passing the object by copying it, I will pass ob. So here I can say I am copying this reference, I am copying this object, and if I am copying this object, whatever I can do using ob, same thing I can do using ob1. Are you getting this statement?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
सर मैं
So
समझ गया.
again I am repeating the same statement. In this case, ob is the object of class demo. So to access any kind of properties of demo class, I need to use this object. Fine. So whatever I can do using this object, same thing I can do using ob1. Why? Because I am passing this object as a parameter. So you can say I am just copying this address. यहाँ पे मैंने इसका एड्रेस कॉपी कर दिया, तो मेरे पास ob1 का जो ब्लॉक था उसमें सेम एड्रेस आ गया. तो अभी ob से जो कुछ मैं एक्सेस करता था वो सब मुझे ob1 से भी एक्सेसिबल मिलेगा. तो अभी देखते हैं कि what we can do with ob1. But yesterday only we were discussing, whenever you pass object as a parameter, you need to have one more constructor where to store this object you need to create temporary object, or you can say reference variable. So can anyone tell me, whenever I will create this object, it will call the constructor. So in this constructor as a parameter, what should I write here?
डेमो बाद में कोई टेम्परेरी वेरिएबल का नहीं
Reference.
Correct. Let's say demo and r. You can write anything. Ultimately, it must be an object. So I have written r. So r is the object of this demo class. So now using this r, I can do whatever I want. So if I write r dot, let's say a, what value I will get? R dot a.
OB
10.
का value
अभी तो
If I write r dot a, then what will be the answer?
10 आएगा sir.
10 आएगा.
Yes, correct, 10. Because variable a is having value which is 10 and which is of class. And for this class, this is the reference. So r dot a will give 10. इसको मैं अभी, let's say I'm just storing in a. Similarly, if I write b is equal to, or let me just update the value so that you will get the updated value. Let me just add 100. Here also, if I write r dot b plus 100. So now what do you think? Can I say that the class variables a and b will get updated value? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so r dot a
No,
was
sir.
10. No, why?
સર એ તો ન્યા સુધી જ રહે ને આપણે ડેમો આર સુધી હોય.
No, this a and b is not local. You can see. These are
હા
the,
હા બરોબર, હા બે એક જ નામે છે બરોબર.
yes, these are the class variables. So if I write r dot a, I will get 10. 10 plus 100, which is 110. 110 will be stored in a, where a is the class variable. So this value will get updated value. Similarly for b, I will get updated value. So now using this ob1, if I try to print the value of variable a and b, let me just write two println statement. I write ob1 dot a. What do you think? What will be the answer? I get the updated answer. And similarly, here let me just access the value using ob dot a and ob dot b. So can anyone tell me what will be the final output of this entire program?
10 20 110 120 शायद.
Okay, so how many of you are agree with this?
Me, sir.
Okay, what about others?
સર વેલ્યુ અપડેટ થઈ નહીં હવે ઓબી ડોટ એ માં ઓબી ડોટ બી માં પણ.
See, let me just explain the entire flow. Execution will start from main, and as a part of first statement, I am creating object of demo where I am passing two values. So it will call this constructor. Both the values will be assigned here. A was 10, B was 20. Now I am assigning 10 and 20 to class variables A and B. तो यहाँ पे ये जो क्लास वेरिएबल्स है उसकी वैल्यू अभी अपडेट होगी. पहले उसमें कुछ वैल्यू नहीं थी. It was empty, it was null, it was 0. Now A is 20 and B is 20. So if I try to print ob dot a, what is ob? Ob is the object of demo. So if I write ob dot a, what compiler will do? It will try to find variable a inside class demo. So there is one variable and now that value was 10. So यहाँ पे मुझे output 10 मिलना चाहिए. Similarly, if I try to print ob dot b, ob is the object of demo. So using object of demo, if I try to access the variable b, compiler will go to class demo. It will try to find variable b. If it is having any value, it will display that value. So b was having 20 because we have assigned the value to class variables. So now in this case, it should return 20. So clear with two statements. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
then
sir.
what I am doing, I am creating one more object. Now while creating object, I am passing the object. To store this object, I am creating one reference variable. So ultimately both are same. Same variable a and b I can refer using r also. This is what you can say. तो यहाँ पे मैं लिखता हूँ r dot a. So ultimately I will be able to access this value only, which was 10. So 10 plus 100, it will be 110. Similarly, r dot b, which was 20, 20 plus 100, which is 120. So now I am updating this class variables a and b. Earlier it was 10, 20. Now it is 110 and 120. तो अभी मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ से ob1 से मुझे वो एक्सेस करना है, ob1 dot a and ob1 dot b. So I should get the updated value. Let me just save this file. .java and let us compile it. So I am not getting any error, and let me just execute it. Copy constructor. Okay, it is a wrong one. It is copy parameterized. Yeah. So you can see, for the first time I'm getting 10, 20. Second time I'm getting 110 and 120. So we can say we have just copied the value of this object. अभी हमने प्रूव भी कर दिया कि वो जो ओरिजिनल वैल्यू है उसमें हमने कुछ अपडेट किया and we are getting the new values using this ob1 without passing any parameters. So in this ob1 I am not passing 10, 20, but still I am able to access this value. Why? Because I have copied this object. This is how the entire concept of copy constructor is. So if you have any doubt, tell me, otherwise copy constructor is done. Let me know if you have any doubt. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Only one. See, I'm waiting for others also.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
If you
sir.
are, yeah, if you have any doubt,
Yes,
you
sir.
can always stop me. Otherwise, you can reply yes, no. You can write your answer through chat box. Yeah, mostly Smith, Hardik, they are replying. Abhishek is also. So that's fine. So now let me just introduce one more class, which is very, very easy. Within 2 minutes, we can do that. So that is why let us discuss that part also. And then we will move ahead and we will start the concept of method overloading, method overriding, inheritance, abstract class. There are many things to discuss. So now let me just save this file with different name. Name is, let's say, demo date. So in util package there is one class which is date class, using which you can print the current date and time. It is very important class. Let me remove unnecessary things. See, using your program, whenever you want to display current date, you can always use date class. Date is one of the inbuilt class which is defined in Java. And inside date class, there are many inbuilt methods which you can access. So now my question is, for example, if I want to display any date, let's say current date. As I said, to access current date, I need to use any of the inbuilt method. So now what should I do? From where I should start my code?
પેકેજ ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરાવવાનું પહેલા.
Very good. First is we need to import the package. So date is a part of java.util package. So let me write java.util.star. Chalo, I have just imported the package. What is the next step?
એ મેથડ કયા ક્લાસમાં છે એ જોવું પડશે પછી.
Correct. So that method is defined in date class. And
અને એ ડેટ પછી સ્ટેટિક છે કે નહીં જોવું પડશે.
no, that method is not static.
તો પછી એનો ઓબ્જેક્ટ ક્રિએટ કરવો પડશે ડેટનો.
Very good, very good. So we need to create object of class date. So let me create the object. Let's say date. Let me give name which is date equal to new date. Now, as you have said, if we create the object of any class, using this object, I can access all the properties of that class. Same thing you need to follow throughout this subject. Since beginning I was saying, whenever you want to access any inbuilt methods, just remember that this method is defined in which class. And if you know that this method is defined in that class, you can create the object. After creating object, using that object, you can access all the properties. Same concept will be applicable throughout this subject. तो अभी जो स्टेप्स हमको अभी जो बोलना है वो यही होगा. पहले पैकेज इंपोर्ट करना है, फिर उस क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना है. Once we have object, we can access all the values through that object. Are you getting this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is what you need to follow throughout the subject. Every time I will ask the same question. Like if I want to do this, for that there are certain specific methods. I want to access those methods. So what should I do? So your answer should be, first you need to know that method is defined in which class. If you know the details of that class, create the object of that class, import the appropriate package, and using the object try to access the methods. It is very simple. For all the inbuilt classes, you need to follow the same syntax. So now I have created an object of a date class, which is a date. So using this object, I should be able to access the various methods. So to display current date in Java, there is one method, which is a very simple method. We can simply display this value, whatever object we create. If you print the value of this object, then it will give current date and time. So let me just write this thing in system.out.println. If I display date, mostly I should get an error. Let me see. Compile this file. Surely I will get an error, and then I will explain what was the error.
મેથડ થોડી ના ડાયરેક્ટ કોલ હોગે.
No, I'm not calling method. Demo date. What is the name? Demo date. File is not there. Why? DEMODAT. That is perfect.
सर आप फोल्डर में नहीं गए होंगे शायद.
No, no.
दूसरी जगह सेव कर.
I am inside that folder, but let me see where this file is. It is there. I think it was not the class file. Yeah, it was the text file only, but I am not getting any error, so I am also surprised. I was thinking that we need to convert the values in string format, but let me see if it prints. Okay, so it is fine. Earlier it was needed that we cannot display the date object, so in that case we were doing like this. We need to convert the values in string. Let me see if it works. It should also work. Yeah, so both the things are same. So you can see it is giving the current date and time and format also. Now as per your need, you can modify these things. There are many date functions which are available. One more class is there which is simple date format, but as of now I'm not about to discuss all the classes, otherwise surely you will get confusion. So simple date format is having many functionalities. Let me just write name of the class so you can do practice. One class is simple date format, and inside this class there is one method which is format, which is very important method. So to access this method, you need to first create the object of this class. Using that object, try to access the method. So you will get the formatted date. So कभी कभी ऐसी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है कि मुझे ईयर को पहले लिखना है. For example, as of now what I'm getting this kind of format. It gives a day, then month, then date, then it gives time, and here it gives year. So अभी मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट ऐसी है कि मुझे ऐसा डिस्प्ले करना है कि यहाँ पे let's say I want to display year first 2021, then स्लैश करके मुझे डेट प्रिंट करनी है, स्लैश करके मुझे मंथ प्रिंट करना है. So that I can do, and for that you need to use simple date format. So I am just not discussing this because I want to give you one activity based on that. That is why I'm not discussing. But if you will not be able to perform that activity, then surely in the next session we will discuss that. because just after completion of this session I will give one activity. That's why. Is it fine?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and for whenever you will use simple data format, you will find various codes also. As I said, for year the code is Y. Similarly, for month the code is M. So if you will try to go and if you will try to find the resources from the net, you will get all the format codes. So you need to decide in which format you want to display on net. Accordingly, you need to choose the method. Right? And those who are using IDEs like NetBeans and Eclipse, they will just get list of all the methods. So in that case, if I write that dot, and you will get list of methods. Let me see if NetBeans is installed. I think it is not there. Yeah, I have just formatted it. So that demo also I will give in the next session. Meanwhile I will install the NetBeans and I will let you know that once you create the object in NetBeans, based on the object, how you can access all the methods. You don't need to remember the methods. You can get the entire list of all the methods which are defined inside that class. And when you will move your mouse to appropriate method, it will give description also, so that you will come to know that this method is applicable for what. So as per your requirement, you can access the appropriate methods. Then, so as a part of homework, what you are supposed to do, I want to display date like this. Let me just write here. Output मुझे ऐसा मिलना चाहिए. Current date, or let's say today's date. Then मुझे ऐसा मिलना चाहिए January 05 2021. This is what I want as an output. फाइन. तो इसके लिए आपको ये डेट क्लास भी आप यूज कर सकते हो, सिंपल डेट फॉर्मेट भी यूज कर सकते हो. दोनों क्लास से हो जाएगा. Even you don't need to use both the classes. So it is up to you. Using date only you can do it. Using simple date format also you can do it. And by combining both also you can do it. So it is up to you which way you are choosing. But I want this statement as an output. हो जाएगा?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just take a note of this in the next session. I mean tomorrow only we will discuss about this part also. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, great. So now let us discuss very important concept and very easy, the concept of method overloading. Let me just save this file with different name. Do you have any idea about method overloading? You already completed this. Anyone? Yes.
एक ही नाम के ज्यादा मेथड लेने वही ना.
Yes. You are on the right track.
आर्ग्यूमेंट अलग अलग हो गए और मेथड का नेम वही होगा, सेम सब में.
Okay, very good. So my question is why we need to go with this concept? If you are saying argue, yeah.
सर जैसे कि जो यूजर का पता नहीं है हमें कि वो जैसे कि पाई की वैल्यू है तो पाई की वैल्यू हम डिफॉल्ट भी डाल सकते हैं. नहीं वो तो डिफॉल्ट नहीं. ओवरलोडिंग का मतलब ये है कि सर हमें पता नहीं है कि वो कितनी वैल्यू डालेगा, तो शायद हमें लगता है कि वो 2 या 3 वैल्यू डाल सकता है, तो हम दोनों की मेथड बना देंगे कि 2 वैल्यू की और 3 वैल्यू की. वो 3 डालेगा तो उसमें जाएगा, 2 डालेगा तो उसमें जाएगा, ऐसा.
And what if I give 4?
सर वो जब लिमिटेड होगा कि जब हमें पता है कि 2 या 3 वैल्यू डाल सकता है दोनों में से कोई भी, तब हम
Okay.
इसका यूज कर सकते हैं. बाकी तो वो आपने सिखाया था ना, वो एरे ले
Variable
सकते
length
हो.
argument. Variable length
वेरिएबल
argument.
लेंथ आर्ग्यूमेंट.
Correct. So you are on the right track. Yeah, anyone other than this, if you want to more focus on this. According to you, what do you mean by method overloading and why it is needed?
No
Yes,
idea,
anyone?
sir.
You have already completed this in C++. The entire concept was discussed there. See, the only thing is, it is up to you. As Rusi was saying, he was perfectly mentioning. See, the concept of method overloading is applicable just to make the more readable program. Mostly people, what people will do. Let me just give one example. If I ask you to write one program where I should be able to add two numbers, or let's say add three numbers, or add four numbers, mostly people will do like this. હું 5-10 મિનિટમાં કોલ કરું, મારે લેક્ચર ચાલુ છે હમણાં, કરું પછી ઉપર જા. See, we will mostly people will do like this class and let's say method. Let me create main method. And here if I click let's say addition, class name is addition. Inside this, what people will do, if I say you need to add two numbers or three numbers, four numbers, then mostly the programmers who are not a good programmer, what they will do, they will do like this. Then they will write, or let me define the method, public void a. They will write two parameters here. This is for adding two values. If I say you need to add three values, what they will do, they will write public void b, integer a comma integer b comma integer c. If I say you need to add four numbers, what they will do, they will write like this, public void add integer a comma integer b comma integer c and integer d. Are you getting the concept? Mostly the people
Yes.
who are not having enough knowledge about the object oriented principles, they will do like this. So here only the programmer knows that he is going to add two numbers, three numbers, or four numbers. Every time you can see they are using different method names. Here they were using a, here they were using b, here it is add. So this is very big problem. As a normal user, you will not be able to understand this. Whenever you will try to work on the same program, then you will get confusion that this method is for what purpose. So that is why the concept of method overloading was introduced. Whenever you want to perform this similar task, at that time you can define various methods with same names. Fine, because here the operation which I'm going to perform is common for all the methods. After all, I'm going to add the values. Values could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. But the operation is I want to add the values. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes or
sir.
no? Yeah, so here we have to perform only one operation, but every time the requirement is different. For the first time, let's say I want to add two numbers, second time I want to add three numbers. So that is why if we write like this, let's say add, here also if I define add, then now it sounds great. For each method you can see a name is same. So based on the name only I can say I'm going to add two numbers, I'm going to add three numbers, I'm going to add four numbers. So simply the concept of method overloading will increase the readability of program. Simply just by reading the program we can have certain idea what this program is going to do. Otherwise you can define different methods, you can go with different names, it is up to you. But to write the standard programs to increase the readability of the program, mostly we are using this concept. This is the very simple answer. Otherwise there is no rocket science. Method overloading will simply increase the readability of your program. Fine. So if you want to perform addition, you can define more number of methods with the same name. If you want to find the area of various steps, you can define the same method. Like if I want to find area of rectangle, I can write area. Here also I can write area. Here also I can write area. So let's say I want to find area of three different objects. So every time I just need to change the parameters. If it is for circle, I will have to pass radius. If it is for rectangle, I will have to pass width and height. If it is for triangle, again I will have to pass two values only. Or if it is for different shapes, then also you will have to change the parameters only as per your need. But just by going through the names, you can have certain idea that in this program you are going to find the area of different shapes. Clear? Any doubt about the use of method overloading?
No, sir.
Correct. So now there are various ways using which you can overload the methods. One way is you can change the number of parameters. Fine, here I am just changing the number of parameters. In first method I am having 2 parameters, in second 3, and in next method I am having 4. So if parameters are different in number, then also you can overload the methods. So all 3 methods are overloaded methods in this case. As of now you can say area methods, each area method which I am using, all these methods are overloaded methods. So mostly you can do method overloading by changing the number of parameters. Do you have any other idea? What else other than the number of parameters? What else I can do to overload the methods?
Sir, data type different હોય.
Correct. Very good. See, even though if I go with 2 parameters here, so now both the methods are having same number. Here number of parameters are 2. Here also number of parameters are 2. But now these 2 methods are not overloaded methods because everything is same. I need to change the signature. So I can change any data type. If I write string or if I write float, whatever. If I change the data type of one of the variables from both the methods, now I can say both the methods are overloaded methods. So you can change it by data type also by changing the data type. So both the way it is possible. Fine. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let me discuss the first one. Later on I will give after completion of both the things I will ask one very important question. So you'll have to understand this entire flow and then based on that you can give the answer. So what we will do, by changing the number of parameters we will try to overload the methods and we will see how to call those methods. It's very simple one, you know. If we want to call this method, while calling the method I need to pass 2 parameters. If I want to call this method, again I'll have to pass 3 values or 4 values. It depends on the parameters. So let me go with the first one. Method overloading. This class, let me go with public void add. Let me go with simple methods only. And here let me perform the operations. I want to add 2 values. So I can write my logic inside this method. Let's say integer c is equal to a plus b. And I can display the value. I can write addition is c. Similarly, I can define one more method which can add 3 values. And here I can add all 3 values and I can display d. Let me go with 2 methods only. So here you can say I have changed the number of parameters in both the methods. We are discussing the first type where by changing the number of parameters we can overload the methods. So in first method I have specified 2 parameters, in the second one there are 3 parameters. So I have changed the number of parameters in both the methods. So in this case, I can say both the methods are overloaded methods. So now to call these methods, what should I do? Anyone? I want to call both the methods. So what should I do here?
સર સ્ટેટિક નથી એટલે ઓબ્જેક્ટ
Object.
બનાવવો જોઈએ.
ઓબ્જેક્ટ ક્રિએટ કરવાનો.
Correct. Method is not static, so we need to create the object of class addition. So let's say ob equal to new addition. And while creating object, how many parameters are needed?
2.
दो या तो तीन.
Correct. And second time I need 3 parameters. It's ob1. Here I can write 10, 20, 30. Is it so? Will it work?
યસ સર.
How many of you are agree with this?
सर
Yes, sir.
मेथड का नाम क्या है? सॉरी सर, ये अपना ये क्या हुआ?
See,
હા
now
Sir,
these are
कंस्ट्रक्टर
now these are
कंस्ट्रक्टर कहाँ पे
constructor
क्रिएट
થોડું
किया
છે.
these are not the
Constructor થોડું છે.
constructors. मैंने कभी बोला
એટલે
कि ये
સર
कंस्ट्रक्टर है, आप लोग बोल रहे हैं ना.
હા એટલે ઓબ્જેક્ટ નેમ ડોટ
हमने
અને
भी
આ
कहा
બધા
बोला.
મેથડ છે.
Okay, किसी ने नहीं बोला, that's good. चलो, let me just remove this. See, these are not the constructors. That is why I was just trying to confuse you. These are the methods. So now the concept of constructor is over. So now we need to call this method manually because it is not constructor. So automatically we will not get execution of both the methods. So we have created an object. So only one object is needed. Using this object, you can call the methods. What is the syntax?
ઓબ્જેક્ટ નેમ ડોટ મેથડ નેમ.
Correct.
ob dot
ob
add.
dot add, and while
હવે
calling this
પેલા
method, I can pass 2 values. So from here it will call this method. Inside this, it will store the value 10 and 20 to variables A and B. It will add the values and will display the addition. Similarly, for the next method, I can write ob dot add, and I can pass 3 values 10, 20, 30. So now will it work?
યસ સર.
Correct.
Yes sir.
Let us see. Oh, it's not demo yet. It's method overloading. So it is fine. And you can say I'm getting addition is 30 and addition is 60. So this is known as the concept of method overloading, where to perform same task again and again, you can define more number of methods with the same name, but you can change the signatures. I mean, you can change the parameters. So you can overload the methods by changing the number of parameters or by changing the data type of the variables. तो अभी हमने जो किया वो क्या किया? We have changed the number of parameters. यहाँ पे 2 है, यहाँ पे 3 है. So we have changed the number of parameters. Now what if I change the data types? It's very simple. If I write string s, then also I can overload both the methods. Like this. So even though the number of parameters are 2 in both the cases, but it varies data type. You can see data types are different for both the cases. So again, I can say add method is overloaded method. Both the add methods are overloaded methods because number of parameters are same, but data types of both the parameters are different. Let me just execute this file. So here now no addition is required. Let me just display what I can display second add method. And here it is fine, addition is there. Let me compile this file, run this file. You can see first it calls the first add method where there are 2 parameters, so it is giving addition. Later on it will call the second parameter, second method, and we will get second add method. But we cannot do like this. I cannot do like this. What do you think? If I will do like this, what error I will get? What do you think? તો તમે ત્રીજો કા બીજો? ત્રીજો તમે લઈ લો. So what do you think? What will be the output?
एरर आ जाएगी।
वो तो पता है लेकिन क्या एरर आएगी वो नहीं पता।
સર મલ્ટિપલ ડિક્લેરેશન કરીને એવી કઈ આવે?
Sorry.
મલ્ટિપલ ડિક્લેરેશન ની એરર.
So ultimately you will get an error. Let us see. This is what I want to explain. You can see is already defined in class addition. Fine, in this class it is already defined. You can see. Are you getting this? So you cannot do like this.
Yes.
But you can change the data type. Instead of integer, if I write float, then also it will be fine. If I write string, then also it is fine. If I write boolean, then also it is fine. So if you change the data type of variables, then also it is going to be fine. You can overload the methods in that case also. So there are two ways to overload the methods. First one is, what was the first way to overload the methods?
Parameters अलग-अलग.
Yes, we can change the number of parameters. If it is true in this case, we can go with 1, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Other than 2, we can go with any number. So by changing the number of parameters, we can overload the methods. And second way is by changing the data type. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now in next session, regarding this only, I will ask one very important question that you will have to answer based on this, and we will discuss that part. As of now, I'm not giving any clue. You will have to wait till tomorrow. So let me know meanwhile if you have any doubt in this. In method or
No
any-
sir.
Okay, then you can join the next session because it is already 9:54. Otherwise, I will take your break. I don't want to do that. If you don't have any doubt, you can leave this session and you can attend the next session. And bye bye. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Yeah, bye.